everybody, it's Julia Roberts back. How are you? It's day 3 of our Beat the Block 5-day writing challenge. It's been great meeting you all in the writing. I really love writing with other people. It just diminishes your resistance. It gives you this sense, it's like study hall. It gives you this sense of urgency and importance, and you just knuckle down and do it. So I think it's a great way to mitigate resistance and get something written. So I'm glad to have had you in that live co-writing session with me. Okay, so I am going to share my screen and we're going to start day 3. Okay. Okay, beat the block. 5-day writing challenge. Get writing, keep writing. We are on day 3. So I'm up in your little corner. And off we go. So each day, I am going to release a lesson. This is one of them at 6 a.m. Pacific time in the Facebook group. If you're really not into Facebook, that's okay, because I will also give you a YouTube link. Okay, you can watch or read the lesson. YouTube makes a transcript, very easy, very nice. You can do the homework and comment on the homework post in the Facebook group. There is no other place to comment on the homework. You can send it to me by email if you want, which is hellojulia@decodingcreativity.com. There is a live Zoom session each day between 4 and 5 p.m. Pacific time in which we write. You can ask me anything. We can discuss the lesson, talk about it a little bit, but we will also write together with a prompt. The prompt is optional. It's up to you to decide how to use it, if to use it, or just bring some work that you're working on. But writing together is a real game changer. So all participants will earn points toward a prize at the end. So that's a really great way to make sure you're paying attention and participating. And I will announce that at the very end, okay? So here we go, day 3. How to claim your gifts and use them confidently. Maybe I'm not telling you anything you didn't know about what your strength was, but maybe you still don't really come forward and say, I do this well. So how do you do that? How do you gain confidence surrounding your creative gifts? How does it feel to say, hey, I'm a strong ideator, or I'm a great at structure or clarity? If you have the normal human brain, the flip side of that statement pushes its way into your thoughts really quickly. Yeah, but I suck at whatever it is you don't do well. And here's why. Normal creative brains are 4 times more likely to focus on the negative versus the positive thoughts. So if you have a negative thought, it has 4 times more power in your brain than a positive thought. Okay, about me. I make all the mistakes and I have great ideas. I'm the opposite of perfectionist, which isn't good or bad. It just is. You know, I wish I could be perfectionist and all the things that I am, but I can't. So I have to give up on not making mistakes. So I've been coaching since 2008, and little by little, I came to understand that I wanted to help writers with their creative process. And my primary way of doing that is the Mighty Writers, and we write. Most of us finish manuscripts and then keep writing, editing, submitting, and working toward our dreams and goals together. I also know that writers are the best weirdos. Someone who is unapologetically creative in their own way is exciting, magnetic, and destined to be read and enjoyed. Okay, also finishing up, Write Without the Fight goes into all this material in a lot of detail. You can get a signed paperback from me, the author, by just going to go.decodingcreativity.com/paperback and filling out the form, if that's what you want. It's signed, it comes with a little bit of goodies from me. If you want, you can also get it from your local bookstore because it is distributed by Ingram Spark, which is a standard distributor that any bookstore is going to know what that means, how to get it. Okay, so here's the creative thinking cycle. We spent a fair amount of time on this earlier, yesterday, but this is how you think when you're having an idea. Clarity, idea, structure, finish. Clarity, idea, structure, finish. That's just an observed process. It's not me telling you to do this. It's what you do whenever you're trying to have an idea or make something or think something through or name a chapter or decide what to put in the soup. All of this little way of thinking is an observed model. It's very much based on Dr. Gerard Puccio's model called foresight. And the science behind it has been established for 15 or more years in the foresight model. I've changed the words just to make it closer to how we think as writers. So just so you know, this is an established thinking model. Okay, so let's say you have some strengths and you have some struggles. Let's say your strength is clarity. Likely you love the research and choose the right projects, but your struggle then is maybe you can't get started. There's always more to think and learn about. Or if your struggle is clarity, it's not your strength, then you just don't clarify and you waste time on ideas that won't be satisfying or appropriate for what you wanted. So clarity as your strength can be a strength and a struggle, or as a not strength, it definitely is a struggle in this way and other ways, but that's the primary. If ideas are your strength, you're full of ideas and you can come up with more. Okay, but if ideas is your strength, you still have a struggle. You might think you might have too many ideas and pick one and stick with it. And if ideas is not your strength, you might feel like your ideas are not very good, or you don't have enough ideas. If structure is your strength, you write, perfect, write, and edit, and you live in the details. Think of the power of that, how great that is. If, however, structure is your best thinking skill, you might still struggle a bit. You may not want to let it go. You might feel perfectionist about it. However, if structure is not your strength, it is your struggle point. You might be too quick to finish. You don't want to edit or polish or keep anything consistent, right? If finishing is your strength, you're usually opportunistic and optimistic. You're able to set a deadline based on a context. You kind of have a full view of where it's headed all the way through. So your struggle, if finish is your strength, you might still have a struggle based on the fact that you rush to finish. You're impatient with holdups. And or your struggle is, if you're not a finisher, is that you just don't finish, you don't plan, you don't implement. You shy from that. Okay? So your strengths can really trip you up, right? Clarifiers are told they ask too many questions. It can just annoy people. And then you can shrink away from what you need to make your creative contribution. Ideators are shushed and disparaged when they are being over enthusiastic or have weird ideas. Structurers focus on details and are teased for it as if they're somehow nerdy or stupid. And finishers are considered impatient and opportunistic, as if they're chilling other people's creativity. We need all these creativities in ourselves, in a group. We need them all. So we need to make space for all those ways of creating. If clarifiers are asking too many questions, that's what they need to be allowed to do to contribute their creativity. If ideators are coming up with weird or unusual ideas that they're selling too hard or over enthusiastic about, that's what they need to do to contribute their creativity. And the structurers are focused on the details and teased for that. Do you want to do the details? Let them do what they're great at. And finishers might be impatient and opportunistic. But do you want them to go away and finish somebody else's? No, you want that finisher to take your work and finish it. So again, honor what they contribute and honor what they need to make that contribution. And when I say they, it could just be the committee in your head. You're doing all these things most often, right? Okay. So how do you prove to yourself that you're strong and great and good? Well, validation, just knowing that you have a creative thinking strength and that not everybody has your strength is really a valid and interesting point of view. Perspective, not just on your strength, but on other people's strengths. You can see your value and you can honor the creative value in others. Or, as I said, in your efforts on a part that you're not great at. Remember, it's not so much that you're not great at it, it's that you lose energy when you get to the part that you don't like. I think I've said that my strength is ideation. If I've been ideating all day, I can do it all night. It just doesn't trouble me. But clarifying, it bogs me down. I stomp my foot, I roll my eyes. I don't want to do it. So if I do it, which I have to, I have to give myself credit for that. I'm doing something despite the fact that I'm losing energy and not enjoying it. So you can collaborate, obviously, and do these things with other people who have these strengths, or you can use evidence-based tools to help you get through those tough spots in the creative cycle. And we're definitely going to get to those. And you can be kind to yourself in your struggles. You're losing energy and doing it anyway. And you can give yourself rewards. I have talked about rewards a lot. A good creative reward is sensual. And I say that because your brain likes a sensory reward. So this little thing is, ooh, God, that's good. You put it on your head and you can feel it. It's sensual. It's a good reward. Let's see if I have I do have rewards all over here. Salt. You just give your hand a little salt and lick it. You can take a little makeup brush and give your face a nice little rub. I do that. I can't find my makeup brush right now, but I do that. You can wear a little ring. I have this set of dogs. And when I'm doing something that is hard, I'll face it away from me. Literally sitting here on my thing, I just face it away from me. And then when it's time, when I've done it and I've gotten through it, I face it towards me just as a little sensory reward. So when people say rewards, they tend to think they're spending money or they're eating all the time. It can just be going outdoors, or it can be listening to a song you like. The idea is that you're doing it, with intention as a reward for your brain. Okay, what's next here? Okay, so the homework is pretty easy today, except not really. It's easy to do, hard to come up with, but I want you to think about a time when your strength, your creative strength, was precisely what saved the day. An idea you had, a clarification you made, the detail that you caught because it's who you are and you're good at it, the rushing and the opportunism that you brought into the project that made it succeed when really it wouldn't have otherwise. So I want you to come up with a time when that happened and tell us about it in the Facebook group. And tell us about a time when you needed a differently abled thinker to get something done. What does that mean? You leaned on your husband, you leaned on a teacher, you collaborated with a friend. A time when somebody else's thinking mode helped you tap into yours and you did something brilliant. So I really would like you to go ahead and brag about a time that your strength was great and a time that a differently abled thinker helped you get something great done. Okay, so congratulations again. Do you know and own your creative strength now? Do you? Can you accept your creative struggles? I don't like mine, but I'm much better at being kind to myself. Can you keep a kind inner voice as you struggle and lose energy and are still doing it? Can you ask for help? Soon you're going to have really great tools on day 5. Okay, so here's where you find me, decodingcreativity.com. And this is 3 down now and 2 to go. Make sure you post any questions you have in the Facebook group or Write Without the Fight, or just email me at hellojulia@decodingcreativity.com. I will be in the Facebook group looking for questions, answering questions. And of course, the homework. I'll be looking at the homework. So we can catch up over the weekend. I don't know if you're a Downton Abbey fan, but I love this weekend. What is a weekend? The Mighty Writers is a way to write with other people. And why do we want to write with other people? Because it helps us get over ourselves and get writing. We have a prompt and then we just write for an hour, and little by little pages accumulate, and little by little you feel like you can write better because you're putting the time in. You can't write well until you start writing badly, but you start writing. Okay, so anyway, you can look at that for more information at go.decodingcreativity.com/mighty. Okay, let's stop share so I can say goodbye properly. And let me just say, it's been a great few days. I look forward to next week with you, Monday and Tuesday, and we'll finish up. And Tuesday, like I said, is really important because that's when we bring in Tame It, the tools. And once you really know what's keeping you from writing, how you avoid your strengths and struggles, and how to claim your strength, you're really ready to get some tools. Okay, thanks.